So what if I told you that the next Transcendence hero was gonna be none other than Foolish? Well, technically, if you guys jumped on the game right after the update last night, they put a second update out pretty quickly to fix some things. But one of the things that some people noticed was they actually put Foolish in the list of heroes. Now, are you wondering what I'm talking about? Well, I'm going to show you guys right now. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Wonder what Foolish would be like if he was a Transcendence hero. Let's get going. So first off, let's show the screenshot that's been going around Reddit, Discord, everywhere. If you actually took a look inside the evolution cube in Gate of the Void, last night you could actually see a specific hero here, and it was mainly tied to the fact that you were doing Realms Gate. So Realms Gate was the place that this was showing up. I don't know if it actually was in the evolution cube now that I think about it. I think most people only saw it if they were at the hero select screen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we can jump in game real quick. I'll show you guys what we're talking about. In Realms Gate, when you finish out everything, you finish out your last map, you get to go back and basically pick the hero that you are going to be using as your selection, essentially. And what happened was this little icon showed up and it was showing Foolish. Now, not only was it showing Foolish, but it looks like they just loaded some data too early, such as they had the little chibi character, yes, for the next hero in here, but it showed the icon right here, which is really interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that upcoming Transcendence hero a little bit later on, but what would this hero actually look like? What would happen if they actually took 1-star heroes and made them into Transcendence heroes? That sounds interesting. So if we do take a look, if you guys never actually looked at some of these heroes stats and everything as 1-stars, you'll notice 1-stars only have one ability. You go up to 2-star heroes, sometimes they unlock additional ones, certain ones do, other ones don't. And then when you go up to like the 3-star heroes, they usually have 2 to 3 skills, and then once you get to the 4-star, they have 3 skills all the way up until you get to 5-star heroes. So it's something that's really weird and interesting. However, Foolish is a hero we've actually highlighted on this channel before, mainly when we were doing our Star Arena shenanigans, basically to see what we could do with this hero. Sadly, can't show you any of it right now anyway because we're in prep phase and everything, but this would be an interesting hero to use, wouldn't it? Foolish is kind of like, he's not the mascot because of course Lutz is the mascot. However, Foolish is kind of like the meme character of the game besides Bade, I would say. And really, he only has one skill. It's called Thump. And if you guys have ever seen it, he just goes boop. He just uses his belly to bump against the enemy. Deals damage against one enemy. Well, what would he be like if he was a Transcendence hero? I think they would literally make that belly bump a complete AoE attack. I think he would be a crowd control poison hero personally. I think he would belly bump everybody, kind of like how Therapist of Blood Betty does her attack. I think he would do something like that with a big old belly bump, and then beyond that, I think he would apply a poison of some sort that could confuse the enemy. That could be really cool. A stun slash poison something or other. I think it would be really cool. However, it's hard to kind of theory craft these heroes too much because, well, they only have one skill. You don't know what else they actually do, and there's really no other heroes you can kind of compare him to. The only thing you could compare him to is maybe something along the line of a Lutz, because they look kind of similar, to the same shade and everything. And of course, Lutz also has that effect to stun the mage heroes, which really weird, but using Lutz up against Oberons in Tower of Oblivion, yes, we might do that on our free-to-play account. Could be something cool, but what do you think a Foolish would actually look like as a next Transcendence hero? It would be interesting to say the least, but yeah, I would love to see a whole stretch where they take not only old 5-star heroes, because as I've said before, I think what they really should do is every other month, or at least a few times a year, maybe the big holidays like Chinese New Year, anniversary, on top of releasing the newest Transcendence hero, I think they should take an old school hero and upgrade them into a Transcendence hero. Could you imagine having a Kameth Transcendence hero, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Still to this day, I think he's one of the coolest looking heroes in the game with, honestly, already some pretty decent CC. Kameth was really strong back in the day, and giving a revival to some of these old school heroes that were fan favorites. I mean, I guess we're talking about fan favorite. We should probably talk about one man so far. We should literally let him have his horse back. If you guys have never seen it, go search on Google for Bade horse, and you're gonna see the old school look of Bade. He looked very, very different than the Bade that you're used to seeing. But I think making old school heroes into Transcendence heroes every once in a while would, number one, just kind of give you more options. Like, I would love to see a Transcendence Ormus, like, for the longest time, even through like the beginning of Transcendence heroes, was actually pretty cool because of his rescue mark, giving like an extra free life to your allies and such. But I mean, we have other heroes like Queen that are like that. Could you imagine getting like a Transcendence King Barton? It's like a Star Swordsman Machman with counterattacks on crack. Like, just going absolutely crazy. Again, another hero that would be really, really cool from the old days would be Demon Hunter, because she was, again, one of those super meta heroes, had one of the best like AoE attacks plus silences back in the 10-star meta. She was amazing. And honestly, even going back to the old days of Dark Arthandal, when E5 came out, Dark Arthandal quickly became one of the best PvP heroes in the game because of Unbending Will keeping her alive, letting her do a ridiculous amount of damage. And yes, in case you guys didn't know, Demon Hunter and Dark Arthandal, both female characters in the game. The only other one I could think of, in my opinion, out of the old school, I would love to see Michelle get a Transcendence hero. The fact that she can revive and everything would be so cool, doing some AoE stunning abilities, all this stuff. I think revisiting old heroes would be a good idea. Now, would making 1-star and 2-star heroes be a good idea? I don't know. We have like, there's a couple in every faction that kind of stand out as iconic. One of them is Foolish in the Shadow faction. I feel like Old Man, or Honest Man, is like the one over here. We also have, I like Flame Imp, but of course, or Flame, Son of Flame. I combine them. Imp is kind of one of the other ones because, of course, we have the Imp's Adventure and all those other things in the game. You know, I guess Bella is the standout one for the Force faction, but then we have got Light and Dark, and there's just none of them whatsoever. I do think it would be cool to make a pass at some of these older heroes to make them viable, but I think going for 1-star might be a little bit too ambitious. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. It was a cute little bug that only a few people got to really experience last night. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.